The lights of the space station floated softly in the endless black of space. Around the planet Lunaris 9, the research station Erebos moved in silent circles like a lonely guardian watching an ancient world below. Dr. Elias Varan sat by the wide glass window of his small cabin. His desk was full of star maps, glowing data screens, and empty coffee packs. He had been studying strange energy readings from the planet for weeks. The signals pulsed like a heartbeat, steady, alive, and beautiful. He was the last one awake. The rest of the crew had gone to their sleeping pods hours ago. The station's AI, Nova, had switched to night mode. Only the faint hum of the engines filled the quiet room. Elias rubbed his tired eyes. He looked at the blinking monitor that showed the energy pattern. It was repeating every 11 seconds now, faster than before. Strange, he whispered. It's almost like it's trying to talk. The computer screen flickered for a moment, then returned to normal. He leaned back, stretched, and sighed. It had been 8 years since he had last seen Earth. The communication link was still broken after the solar storm. The station had enough supplies for 20 more years, but the loneliness was harder to manage than the distance. He missed the sound of rain. He missed the blue of the sky. He missed people. That night something changed. At exactly midnight, he woke up suddenly. The cabin was dark. The clock on the wall showed 00:00. The hum of the engines had stopped. Silence. A strange feeling washed over him, like someone was standing beside his bed. He turned his head slowly. Nothing. The air was still, but his heart beat faster. Then he heard it. A soft tap, tap, tap sound from the metal floor outside his door. Slow, careful steps. He sat up and whispered, "Nova, is anyone outside?" No answer. The AI's voice was silent. He got out of bed and opened the door. The corridor was empty, but a faint blue glow shimmered near the floor, like moonlight spilling through water. It moved slightly, sliding toward his cabin. "What the?" he muttered, stepping back. The glow gathered into a mist, swirling and folding until a shape began to appear. A human shape. In seconds, a figure stood in front of him, tall, graceful, and glowing softly with blue light. She looked like a woman, but her skin was translucent, like glass filled with stars. Her eyes shone like twin moons, calm and deep. Elias froze. His mind screamed to call for help, but his body refused to move. The woman tilted her head. She didn't speak. Instead, Elias felt something. A wave of calm spreading through his chest. Fear slowly faded. He felt safe. Then another feeling touched his mind, a sadness. A deep, quiet sadness that wasn't his. It came from her. Who are you?" Elias whispered. The woman looked at him, and for the first time her lips moved. No sound came out, but words formed directly in his thoughts. "Help me." His breath caught. "Help you? How? What are you?" Her expression softened, and she stepped closer. Elias noticed the faint glow beneath her skin, tiny threads of light moving like veins. When she raised her hand, he saw it pass through the metal edge of his desk like mist through water. She wasn't solid. She wasn't fully here. Suddenly, the station's red alarm lights flashed on. A mechanical voice echoed through the corridor. "Alert! Unknown entity detected in Sector B. Security lockdown initiated." The woman's eyes widened in fear. "No, wait," Elias said. "Don't go!" But her body began to dissolve into blue smoke. Before vanishing, she touched the wall beside the door. Light flared where her hand met the metal, leaving behind a glowing mark. A circle with strange lines crossing through it. Then she was gone. The hum of the engines returned. The lights stabilized. The alarm fell silent. Elias stood frozen in the doorway, breathing hard. His heart pounded as he stared at the glowing symbol. "What just happened?" he whispered. He reached out and touched the mark. It was warm, almost alive. The moment his fingers brushed the surface, a flash of images hit his mind. Not clear, just fragments. A garden. A blue sky, laughter. A woman's voice calling his name. He stumbled back, gasping. The images faded as quickly as they came. He stood still, trying to make sense of what he'd seen. "Nova," he said quietly. "Scan for life signs in my cabin." The AI's calm voice returned. "No life forms detected other than your own, Dr. Varan." He looked again at the symbol. "Then what was that?" "Unknown anomaly," the AI replied. "Recommend reporting to command." Elias didn't answer. He sat on his bed, staring at the wall. The glowing mark pulsed gently, almost like a heartbeat. He whispered to himself, She asked for help. He couldn't shake the feeling that it wasn't a dream or a hallucination. Everything felt too real. The light, the emotions, the warmth. He spent the next few hours scanning the area for energy traces. His instruments picked up a strange pattern, similar to the signals coming from the planet below. It was the same frequency, the same rhythm, only stronger. He stared at the data in disbelief. Was she from there? He murmured. He compared the mark's pattern with his data files. The lines in the circle matched part of the alien signal. Only a few symbols were missing. He tried to decode it, but his mind kept drifting back to her face, those calm, knowing eyes filled with something he couldn't describe. By dawn, the symbol had dimmed but not disappeared. It looked like it was burned into the metal itself. He decided not to tell the crew. Not yet. They would think he had lost his mind. Instead, he made a new file in his private log. He named it Midnight Visitor. He wrote, 00 hours. Unknown entity entered my cabin. Appears female. Emits controlled bioluminescence. Possible holographic or energy-based life form. Communicated telepathically. Message. Help me. Left behind glowing mark-matching planetary signal pattern. He paused, staring at the words. Something deep inside him whispered that this was only the beginning. Later that day, while working in the lab, he noticed something strange again. Every few minutes, one of the sensors pointed at the planet blinked as if someone were sending a code. 3 blinks. Pause. 3 blinks again. He leaned closer. Is that Morse code? He muttered. He decoded it on his pad. The message was simple. Remember. His hands trembled slightly. That same word appeared in his vision last night when the mark flashed, but remember what? That night, when the others went to rest again, Elias sat alone by the window. He watched the soft glow of Lunaris 9 below. The planet looked calm, a pale silver world covered in endless ice. He couldn't stop thinking about her. About her voice in his mind, the sadness in her eyes, he whispered, If you can hear me, I'll try to help you. Outside, the planet shimmered faintly, as if answering his promise, and deep within the cold crust of Lunaris 9, something ancient pulsed once, a signal that had waited centuries for someone to listen. Elias didn't know it yet, but that single midnight visit had already changed everything, not just for him but for all of humanity. Elias couldn't sleep. The events of the previous night haunted him like a living shadow. He kept staring at the glowing mark in his cabin. Though the light had faded to a soft pulse, it still whispered to him in ways he couldn't explain. The station hummed quietly around him, but every vibration of the engines felt louder than usual, like the station itself was aware of his unease. He had tried to go about his work normally, but his thoughts kept drifting back to her, the midnight visitor. Her face, her voice, the strange sadness in her eyes. During breakfast in the station's small communal area, he noticed the crew chatting casually, unaware of the world's silent pulse outside. Lieutenant Mara, the station's navigator, laughed as she poured herself a cup of recycled coffee. You look like you saw a ghost, Elias, she said. He forced a smile. Just tired, he replied. But the truth gnawed at him. The midnight visitor was no ghost. He felt it deep inside. She was real. And she had a purpose. He returned to his cabin after breakfast, determined to study the symbol once again. He retrieved his data pad and compared the glowing mark to the energy signals coming from Lunaris 9. To his astonishment, the patterns matched perfectly. The planet itself seemed to be sending a message, one that only he could decipher. Hours passed. Elias worked feverishly, connecting symbols, numbers, and strange lines. The more he studied, the more fragmented images returned to his mind. Flashes of Earth he never remembered visiting, faces of people he didn't know, and memories of a life he hadn't lived. He shook his head. It can't be real, he muttered. I've never been there. A soft light filled the room. He froze. She was there. The same glowing woman stood at the center of his cabin. Her presence was calming, like a gentle tide washing over him. But there was urgency in her gaze. You've seen the fragments, she said in his mind, her voice both distant and intimate. But you don't remember the truth yet. He swallowed hard. What truth? Who are you? Her eyes glimmered. I am Lyra. You created me. Elias blinked, his mind recoiled. Created you? How? What are you talking about? She reached out, and though her hand hovered inches from his cheek, he felt a warmth, a connection he couldn't explain. You designed me to preserve something precious, Lyra explained. But you forgot. You forgot everything, including yourself. He shook his head in disbelief. I'm human. I've always been human. No, Lyra said gently. You were human once. But your consciousness is part of the memory project now. The people you see on this station, some are real, but most are fragments of minds waiting to be restored. Humanity is waiting, Elias. You are the one who can wake them. Elias's head spun. Wait, what? You're saying I'm not real? Lyra's glow dimmed slightly. You are real in ways that matter, but your physical body, your old life, it's gone. You survived, but not in the way you remember. This station, it is a bridge, a place between past and future, and the planet below holds the key. He stumbled back, trying to process her words. The planet? Lunaris 9? That's just a frozen world. I've been scanning it for years. Nothing could... Wait, you said humanity is waiting? Yes, Lyra said, her voice softer now. All human consciousnesses were preserved in the memory vault. That's what the signals are, calls for help. And the station's AI, it is failing. I came to find you because you are the creator. You are the only one who can repair the system and restore humanity. Elias sank into a chair. This is impossible. I've been here alone for 8 years. I never even thought that humans could be in storage? And I created you? Lyra stepped closer. Yes, you programmed me to protect them, to maintain the link. You wanted humanity to survive, even when the physical world was lost. But now the system is deteriorating. If we do not act soon, billions of souls could be lost forever. Elias stared at the glowing woman. His mind was a storm of confusion, disbelief, and growing understanding. He remembered flashes. The midnight visitor, the glowing mark, the signal from the planet. Each piece fit into a pattern he could no longer ignore. How do I fix it? He asked finally. Lyra's glow brightened with hope. You must connect to the core of the system, but it is dangerous. You will enter a realm of memories, of human minds. It will feel real, and it could overwhelm you. But you are the only one who can do it. You designed the code. You know the path. Elias hesitated. Fear clawed at him. He had always trusted logic, data, and the predictable rhythms of science. Now he was being asked to dive into the unknown, into human consciousness itself. Yet, he knew he had no choice. The faint memories tugging at him, the fragments of lives he had not lived, the pulse of the glowing mark, all told him that this was bigger than himself. Humanity depended on him. He nodded. Okay, I'll do it. Lyra smiled, a soft curve of light that seemed almost human. Then we begin. Together, they moved to the station's lab. Elias prepared the neural interface, a complex helmet covered in glowing conduits and tiny sensors. He had used it before for deep space scans, but never for this. Lyra guided him. Once you enter the system, follow the light. It will lead you to the memory vault. But remember, you are a part of it. Your mind will blend with the fragments. Trust yourself. Elias took a deep breath. He placed the helmet on his head. The sensors hummed. Lights danced across the lab. The world blurred. Colors shifted. Sounds became shapes. And then, he was falling, not through space, but through streams of light. He opened his eyes to see oceans of shimmering patterns like stars arranged into flowing rivers of memory. Faces swirled around him, millions of them, all human, all waiting. Some smiled, some cried, some reached for him. Elias. Lyra's voice echoed in his mind. You are here. Now find the core. He floated through the streams, reaching for the brightest points, nodes of memory glowing with pulses of life. Each node hummed with emotion, joy, fear, hope, love, and pain. As he moved closer, he saw fragments of himself. Young Elias laughing in a sunny field, older Elias walking through a crowded city, memories of friends and family he had never known but somehow felt connected to. This is me, he whispered. Yes, Lyra said. All of it. All you were, and all you are now. The system preserved it. Now you must awaken the rest. He reached the central node, a massive sphere of light, brighter than 1,000 suns. The memories inside it pulsed like a heartbeat. He could feel the weight of billions of lives waiting to be restored. Lyra's glow surrounded him. Merge with it. Guide it. Trust your mind. Elias hesitated. Fear flickered. What if he failed? What if he lost himself completely? But then he remembered the midnight visit, her eyes, the sadness in her voice. Humanity was waiting. Billions of souls depended on him. He reached out, placing his consciousness into the core. Light rushed into him, filling every corner of his mind. He saw Earth, oceans, forests, cities, and humanity in all its beauty. He saw the moments lost to time, the lives that could have been. And he understood. He was the bridge, the one who would reconnect the fragments. As he guided the streams of memory, he felt Lyra's presence inside his mind, steady and supportive. Together they began the delicate process of restoring balance, reconnecting minds, and preparing humanity for awakening. Hours passed, though it felt like seconds. Elias lost track of himself, merging with countless lives, yet he felt alive in a way he had never known. Finally, a calm settled. The streams of memory flowed in harmony. Nodes pulsed steadily, brighter than before. He had done it. Lyra's glow returned to his vision. You have succeeded. For now, she said softly. But the planet below still holds the physical vault. Soon you must awaken humanity completely. That is the final step. Elias removed the neural interface. He sat back, exhausted but exhilarated. He looked at the lab, the station, and the planet outside. Everything had changed. He whispered to himself, I understand now. I understand everything. And outside, across the icy surface of Lunaris 9, the first signals of awakening began to pulse. Faint, steady, and full of life. Humanity was calling, and Elias was ready to answer. The station's lights flickered softly, casting long shadows across the lab. Elias stood by the wide viewport, staring at Lunaris 9 below. The planet's icy surface shimmered in silver and blue as if it were awake. He could feel it, the planet pulsing with energy, ready to release what had been stored for centuries. Lyra hovered beside him, her soft glow steady and reassuring. The memories are stabilized, she said, but the physical vault is still beneath the ice. Humanity cannot awaken fully until the consciousness and the bodies are reunited. Elias nodded, swallowing a lump in his throat. He had already merged with the memory core once, but now he faced the final step. A journey to the vault itself. His body would remain in the station, connected through the neural link while his mind would guide the awakening. Are we ready? He asked. Lyra's glow intensified. Yes, I will guide you through the system. You must be strong. Humanity's survival depends on your courage. He took a deep breath. His fingers brushed the neural interface. Once again, the lights of the lab danced and swirled around him. He felt the familiar pull, the sensation of falling, of entering a space where reality and memory blurred. This time, however, it was different. He wasn't alone. Billions of human fragments surrounded him, waiting, reaching out, calling his name in silent waves. Elias, Lyra whispered. You are the bridge. Lead them, he focused. Light streamed through his mind, connecting to each node of memory. Faces of people he had never met smiled and reached for him. He felt their hopes, their fears, their love. And for the first time he understood. Humanity was not just flesh and blood. It was courage. It was creativity. It was connection. The journey through the streams of consciousness led him to a central sphere of light, far larger than the last. It pulsed steadily like a heartbeat. This was the memory vault itself. The energy from the planet below amplified it, sending waves of light across the galaxy. Lyra's voice echoed in his mind. Now, Elias, awaken them. He hesitated for a moment, feeling the weight of countless lives pressing against his mind. Could he do this? Could he guide billions of consciousnesses back into the physical world? Fear tugged at him, but then he remembered the first time she had slipped into his room at midnight. He remembered the sadness in her eyes and the quiet plea for help. He took a deep breath and reached out. Light flowed from him into the vault, connecting each node to the next. Slowly, steadily, consciousness after consciousness began to awaken. He saw flashes of Earth, oceans and mountains, forests and cities. Human lives he had never lived bloomed in his mind like flowers in spring. They moved, they breathed, they remembered. Lyra's voice was calm, guiding him. You are doing well. Keep moving. Trust yourself. Time lost all meaning. Elias felt as if he had been awake for centuries and only moments at once. The connections grew stronger. The energy from the planet flowed into the vault, completing circuits that had waited for centuries. Then came the challenge. The system resisted. Some nodes flickered, hesitated, threatened to collapse. Memories tangled. Emotions surged too strong, and Elias felt himself pulled toward the edge of consciousness. Panic threatened to overwhelm him. He shut his eyes and focused. He reached deeper into himself, remembering why he had done this, why he had created Lyra, why he had preserved humanity. It was hope. It was love. It was the will to survive. With renewed determination, he poured all his energy into the connections. Slowly, the nodes stabilized. One by one, the memories found their place. Humanity stirred, awakened, and stretched toward life. Elias could feel them, the emotions of billions, gratitude, joy, relief. They were alive again, more than code or memory. And then, Lyra's glow intensified beside him. It is done, she whispered. He opened his eyes. The lab was still, but he could feel the subtle shift in the station. The planet below pulsed brighter, sending a wave of energy across space. Signals raced out, across colonies, across star systems, across human settlements hidden among the stars. Humanity had been restored. Elias felt exhaustion settle into his bones. He sank into a chair, unable to speak. His mind was heavy with the experience, but a deep warmth filled him, a sense of purpose fulfilled. Lyra hovered closer. You did it, she said. Humanity owes its life to you. You did not just awaken them, you reminded them of who they are. He smiled weakly. I didn't do it alone, he whispered. You guided me. You were always here. Her eyes glimmered. I was created for that, and I will always be with you. Elias looked out at Lunaris 9. The icy surface now shimmered like a living crystal. He could feel the energy of the planet. Quiet, steady, nurturing. Somewhere beneath the ice, the vault hummed with life. Humanity was alive again, ready to rebuild, ready to explore, ready to remember. He stood and walked to the viewport. Across the galaxy, he imagined the first moments of human awakening. Families reunited, minds restored, dreams remembered. The sorrow and loss of the past replaced by hope and new beginnings. A soft vibration traveled through the station. He looked down at his console. A message blinked on the screen. Created by Dr. Elias Varan, Humanity Lives. He smiled. It was not about glory, not about recognition. It was about survival, courage, and the endless human spirit. He had given up nothing but fear, and in return humanity had been reborn. Lyra's light flickered one last time, then joined the energy flowing through the station. Elias felt her presence within him. A companion, a guide, a guardian. He knew she would continue to watch over humanity, helping them navigate the stars just as he had helped awaken them. He sat back in his chair, breathing deeply, feeling a sense of peace he had never known. Humanity was alive, and he had played a part in that miracle. And somewhere in the vastness of space, new human colonies began to awaken. Children laughed, scientists marveled, and explorers prepared to reach out to the stars once more. The universe felt alive. Humanity felt alive. And Elias knew that no matter how far the stars stretched, no matter how lonely or dark the nights became, the spark of human courage, creativity, and compassion would endure. He whispered softly to himself, a quiet promise to the universe: we remember. We survive. We will always rise. Outside, the stars glittered and Lunaris 9 shimmered beneath the station. Humanity had been reborn, and for the first time in decades, Elias felt truly at home.